how to put together a tour process that not only converts, but really grows your daycare business. Welcome to another video. We're going to be diving deep into tours, what that means, what it looks like, how to put one together, how to diagnose if yours is not working, and most importantly, how to fix it. Before I dive into this video, I want to make sure that you know that every single week, I update a brand new video and I talk about all the things childcare business. So we talk about policies and procedures, educational curriculum, and yes, marketing. So if you want to stay up to date and if you want to get alerted every single time I drop one of these videos, all you got to do is subscribe to this channel and of course, click the notification bar. So let's talk a little bit about your tour process, what that looks like, how to put one together, and how to make sure you are less stressed when you are giving tours to clients. So why is having a tour process important? When I'm working with clients inside my marketing agency, one of the things that I go over after we've dealt with ads and Facebook and all the things is their tour process. Because we want to make sure that all this hard work we're doing attracting these new clients, these new families to notice the business and to, start a conversation and to eventually book a visit, is that when that visit takes place, my client knows exactly how to convert them into a paying client, okay? So I do include this in your marketing strategy because I think it is one of the most important pieces of any marketing strategy is being able to sell your services, right? And if you are a childcare business owner, it's really difficult for you most probably to think of yourself as someone that sells, but you are running a business, you are running a service-based business, you're exchanging your service for money, so you are in sales, right? And the better you get at selling your services, the easier your marketing strategy and your business and all that is going to feel, and it's going to grow, and you're going to be super happy and in love with your business, okay? So let's talk a little bit about why having a sales pitch is important. So what's a sales pitch? I like to describe it as this. If I gave you 30 seconds to sell me on your childcare program, what would you say, okay? And again, this may feel a bit overwhelming. You might not know exactly what to say, but don't worry. You can practice this as much as you want in front of the mirror, with your best friend, your husband, whatever, because this is something that is going to get better and clearer the more you do it, okay? When I first started my business, I didn't have a sales pitch. I had no idea what that meant. I didn't know how to put one together. I was extremely shy, overwhelmed. This was the first time I was talking to complete strangers about my business. And I remember the first time we had an open house and I had to answer questions and, talk to people about my background and why we opened the center and all that stuff. I was so nervous, and that is normal. If that's you right now, if you're feeling stressed out or shy or overwhelmed, or you're talking to new people, you're an introvert, just know that it's okay. You can put a sales pitch together that really aligns with you and your values and your beliefs, but it's really important for you to really get uncomfortable if you want your business to grow. You have to be able, especially in today's world, to cut through the noise and to share how amazing your program is without feeling shy or without feeling like an imposter, okay? So having a sales pitch is really, really important. It's really important when someone messages you out of the blue. It's really important when someone calls you. It's really important, especially if someone visits you face to face. You have to be able to have a sales pitch together that really converts someone that's never heard of you, that may be following you on Facebook and Instagram, but they don't really know you, into a paying client. And the better you get at this, guess what? Your business is going to keep growing, right? You're never going to struggle with half empty spots. As long as you're generating traffic and views and people are connecting with you, there's no reason for your center to be half booked or struggling for enrollment, okay? So how do you prepare a sales pitch? My best advice is this. Think about 4 or 5 things that make your business different from your competition. Now, this may require you to go on Google and visit their website and do some simple market research, but it is definitely the most important thing you can do because you want to be able to know how your business, how your program, your services, your offers stand out from your competition. And once you put that down on paper, then I want you to think about what do clients say about your business? What are the families that have gone through your program? What have they shared, right? Start thinking about that. What type of social proof do you have that this is a great program, that you know what you're doing, that the curriculum is excellent, right? The kids are safe and all that fun stuff. And then the last thing I want you to think about is your credentials, your expert. What makes you the expert? Why should they trust you, right? And write all this down. Now you're going to start feeling as though this is way too much and you won't be able to share this in 30 seconds or less, but still try to put all this down on paper and really just dump this out of your mind so that you can have something to work with, okay? Parents want to know that this place, this daycare that they're going to say yes to, that they're going to enroll their child in, is safe, is educational, that the person that is responsible loves their child and knows exactly what they're doing, that other parents have gone through this program and they can vouch saying, yes, this is an amazing program, right? That the curriculum is amazing, that your staff is great, that the kids are going to have fun, and they're going to feel a sense of belonging, okay? So I want you to start thinking about these things when you're speaking with potential clients, whether it's through Messenger or whether through an email or on the telephone. It's just really, really important, because once you have this written up and you keep practicing it in front of the mirror and you really just you get it to a place where it sounds really good, then you want to think about your tour process, okay? So when I was running my center, I actually had a tour process written out, and it was extremely detailed, and I did this for a reason, because I wanted to be able, once I found the system that worked, to hand it over to my lead educator so that she can take over the tours every time someone would call and book an appointment. Sometimes I didn't want to be at the daycare, especially in the summertime when my kids were off, and sometimes I was busy, I had a meeting. So I wanted to make sure that not only did I come up with a system that really worked, but that I taught the system to someone else in my team that they can actually take over, follow it to the T, and get the same results. And that's what we did, okay? So how do you prepare for the tour? I'm going to share with you what I prepared and how I did it, and maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't, maybe you'll just pick and choose what you want or what works best for you. But I really want you to start thinking of this as something that should be written down strategically, really, really detailed, and really in a way that is going to make sure it converts, that it works, okay? So the first thing I want you to think about, obviously, is review your sales pitch. Now think about what you're going to say. Think about that journey you want to bring this brand new person on that you've never met before. Practice your sales pitch over and over, and really start making sure that it makes sense, that it's short, that it's sweet, that it sounds good, right? And again, practice in front of the mirror if you have to, practice with your colleagues, practice with your husband. Just start getting in the habit of selling your services that way, okay? The other thing I want to encourage you to do is to get organized, okay? So this is obviously the first time you have with this person that you've never met before. Impressions are everything. So you really want to start thinking about their experience as a whole, okay? And I'm talking about thinking of the odor that they're going to smell from the beginning of the tour to how they're going to feel when you close the door behind them. So you really have to get in their minds and think about things that may turn them off, may make them feel a bit weird, things that they're interested in, things that they want to see, things that they want to experience, how they want to feel coming in, how they want to feel going out. So these are all things that as a business owner are really important, right? It's really important for us to get inside the head of our potential clients and know exactly what worries them, what kinds of questions they're going to have, because then guess what? You can prepare yourself, right? So get organized. Think about all the paperwork you're going to need, marketing material. Think about all the social proof you want to share, your educational curriculum. Is it in paper format or is it uploaded on your website? Think about the environment, so the setting. Are they going to come in during lunchtime, nap time? Are they going to come in after hours? Are they going to come in maybe during the weekend? Maybe you have an open house, and really start thinking of their experience. Remember, this is the very first time they've stepped foot in your center, and the very first time they get to meet you and your staff as well. So we want to make sure that everything is clean and organized, that it smells nice, that kids are not like crying all over the place, right? So we really need to think about everything. and make the proper preparations, okay? And your paperwork, obviously, so whether that's a business card, whether that's a folder with some information, you really have to make sure everything is prepared and ready to go, okay? The other thing you want to start thinking about is the journey. So how is this gonna flow from the moment they walk in? Are you going to make them, for example, sign a tour sheet, which I would definitely suggest you do, with their name and their information, how they heard of you, of your daycare, their email, so you can send them a feedback form, and just have this ready to go, right? After they walk in, what's next? What are you going to do first, right? Obviously, you're going to introduce yourself. You want to start sharing a little bit about your program. So that's where your sales pitch comes in, right? Sharing about your program, your credentials, your background, the vision of the daycare, what makes you different, what makes you special. You want to be able to have your social proof ready. So whether that's having everything on an iPad or maybe printed out in some type of format, you just want to be able to have everything ready to go so that you're not stressing out trying to find things in your office. And then obviously thinking about questions that they may have. You need to anticipate these things, okay? Obviously, as a business owner, you want to be able to have some questions ready for you to ask them, but know obviously that for sure they will have questions to ask you, right? Especially if they've never seen you before. So you have to anticipate what types of things are they going to ask me, right? So they might ask you things about the program, the menu, interventions, the staff, if the kids go outside, if there's field trips. So start thinking about things that they may ask and plan accordingly, okay? And lastly, as soon as you are done with the tour and you are at the door escorting them out, it's a good idea to mention if there's a limit to say yes or no, right? So if you have a few more booked tours later on in the week or the same day, you should mention it to them so that they know that they have a time that they need to make their decision by. If they loved it, great. Make your next appointment to onboard them. If they didn't, or if they have more questions, you need to make sure that they know that there's other people waiting for a visit with you. So, you would like to hear, from them by this time, this date, and by email or phone call or message, right? So this has to be really, really clear. We want to make sure that we're kind of closing the loop, and that they know exactly where they stand so that they can make the best decision for their family, okay? After the tour is over, I would definitely circle back maybe 24 hours later and send them either an email, a phone call, or a form to fill out, asking them for feedback, what they liked about the visit, what they didn't like, what they wanted to see more of, if they made their decision, what they based that decision on. Again, this is going to give you feedback on your tour process so that you can take this information in and make changes if you need to make changes to the tour process, okay? So how do you diagnose a tour process that is not working, okay? So let's say you're doing an amazing job at getting traffic onto your website, to your social media, all your pages, your platforms are growing, you're getting messages, you're getting people to ask you questions in Messenger, you're getting phone calls, you're booking visits, and then no one is signing up. Then you know that you don't have a tour, you know that you don't have a traffic problem, but you most probably have a problem when they actually meet you face to face. And this can definitely feel really stressful, but you should also feel empowered because you know that you're doing a good job generating this traffic. People know of your business, they're reaching out, they're booking visits, but it really comes to you and them meeting for the first time where there's a little glitch, and you can definitely fix that, right? By asking questions, calling for feedbacks, emailing out a feedback form, and making the proper changes. I actually had a client that had she ran a preschool program, and she was getting a lot of clicks on her ads, people were viewing the videos, people were visiting her website, they were booking visits with her, but every single time she had a parent book a visit and she brought them through her tour process, they would not take the spot. And I suggested, well, why don't you call and ask for feedback? What happened? What went wrong? What didn't you like? Why did you say yeah? Why did you say no? Why did you pass on the spot? And when she did, she quickly realized that the parents, even though they loved the curriculum and they loved, the environment and the area, most parents that say no was because when they walked in the actual setting of the daycare, The walls were kind of scratched off, everything looked old and run down. And this really encouraged her to close her center for 2 weeks and go in and paint it and refresh the toys and change things around so that that wouldn't be an issue after that. But she wouldn't have known that if she just kept doing the same thing she was doing over and over, expecting different results, right? So ask the questions, send out those feedback forms, and don't be afraid of what people are going to respond back. You cannot take that personally. You could just take it as information, as data, and then make the proper changes, especially if you see that the same concerns are popping up all the time. So there you have it, you guys. Putting a tour process together and diagnosing the problem and then fixing it is really, really simple. I hope that this information blesses you and your business. If you do need help with your systems, with your day-to-day operations, or with your marketing, I'm going to put some links under this video. Go ahead and click on that and see how I can help your business thrive. As always, I will see you guys next week. Bye for now.